to another, I was gonna say 12 FPS, but this isn't actually 12 FPS. Welcome back to another game of Toonkind. Today I am your DM, Magic, and I have kinda stolen the shoes again for DMing Rundle games. Anyway,
Shoes swiped.
Could my very lovely players please introduce yourselves from top to bottom?
Okay, hello, my name's Breaks, and today I will be playing Dr. Greymatter, the local mad scientist extraordinaire.
Local mad
I'm very curious about what's going to happen.
Hello, my name is Fable, and today I will be playing Antler, and my feet are very cold.
Get some socks on!
No,
the DM shoes
Wind
have been
your
stolen.
toesies!
no, I'll just sit on my feet, it's fine.
Hello, my name is Ars Obsessions, also known as Obby, and today I'm playing, as usual, Ruby Red, Lethal Wizard.
Yeah.
Yee.
And today we're actually going to start out with you, Ruby Red.
Oh boy.
It is a fine morning, and you had just left out your wand to be, soaked in water under the moonlight, to get its charges back.
Yeah. Yeah. For the context, Ruby has a funky magic wand that Duster gave her, and it's real neat. And it does cool things, like give her a form that flies occasionally. And also work as a really nice wand.
Yeah. Ruby, I'm not gonna have you roll perception on this because, God, this game would go a lot differently if you failed this roll.
Oh, don't notice the one thing that starts this game? Well, I guess we have to leave then. Goodbye, everybody.
See you later, folks. Anyway, no. It's morning. You probably just woke up when you're going to retrieve this. You kind of walk over to the small bowl you probably put it in, and reach in and pick up your wand. But
Yeah.
hey Ruby, you know that very small, like, little figure that's in the amber of the wand?
Mhm.
You can see a small, glowing blue point on it that looks very much like an eye sleepily blinking out into the world.
I feel like how like Ruby knows is that like she's like drawing off her wand with like her like pajama shirt, like the bottom of it, and then she like glances down at it, and then looks away, and then does a double take.
Yeah.
And then is just like holding it up closer to get a better look at it.
The eye doesn't ever seem to lock onto you, but it does look very tired and sleepy, and after a minute or two, it blinks close.
Okay, that's new. I feel like she just holds it out at arm's length, like Yeah. I do not know what she's doing with this new information. She's just a little weirded out at the moment.
Well, you do have, there is a certain doctor here who does look at things.
There is indeed.
Yeah.
And if this is something that's like awake in her wand. Yeah, you know what?
Alright.
Just gonna start heading there. Just very sleepily like, alright. Might as well.
Alright. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and jump cut us down to the lab. The current scene is Ruby and Doc. Doc, you have attached this thing to many a machinery. And, you know, you've attached this thing to a lot of machinery, and, probably looking at, like, vital signs and those sort of things, yeah?
Yeah. I would say that it would probably be the mechanical equivalent of casting the spell Identify on it.
Well, sure
Ooh.
is a wand.
Well, yeah, it's a wand.
I knew that, but there's something inside it. Look.
Like he like starts ratcheting up like one goggle, and like the lens starts going out and like periscoping into something smaller and smaller and smaller. She kind of zoom in on the the amber.
I feel like it gets to, such a comical size where you actually have to step back to look at it, because I must express, this thing is tiny. Like, this is a very small figure inside of this wand, which Ruby can hold in her hand. This thing,
Minuscule.
yeah. And
Does it remind him of the form that Ruby takes when she
wanna roll a perception?
Yeah. Let's do a roll.
Oh boy, first roll of the game, everybody.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
18.
You have just a straight D20 for perception.
Mm-hmm. Whatever gave you the thought that the doctor was wise.
You know what? Fair. Doc handshake Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Alright.
wise.
Alright. 18. You look very closely at this thing, and it does have the same, like, basic outline of, yeah, it does kind of look like the form Ruby takes. You look at it from one angle and you switch it to another, and it does have a very, you didn't notice it before because, again, this thing is tiny. But with your magnification, you do notice it does have a very small pair of wings. And 18, 18, 18, 18. It hmm hmm. It does appear that a part of the wings seem to be damaged, but otherwise it's just a funky little figure in there.
Well, since it's an amber, I get the feeling it got caught at some point. Sucks to be it. But you said it looked at you? Or looked? It's alive?
It was awake this morning when I went to grab my wand.
He very gently taps it. Tink, tink.
There is no response.
Doesn't look very awake right now. But if it's
Be
alive...
huffs because she doesn't want to be proven wrong and starts tinking it as well. More forcefully. Tonk, tonk, tonk.
Nothing happens.
Aw.
Pecking. Okay.
Alright. For the sake of argument, we'll assume it's alive, just not awake. Which means there's gotta be some brain activity going on in there, right? And I happen to still have, and he looks pointedly at the dentist chairs that you all sat in for Dream Within a Dream. So, you up for a little dowsing?
Ruby, like, just gets a little look. I feel like we ought to tell Antler about this before we get started on something too soon. You know.
Yeah, I suppose. Let me
Better
hang on.
safe than sorry.
He goes over to the console, like, presses a button and a little microphone pops out. and then he taps it, pum pum pum, and Antler, wherever you are, like probably in your office, there you probably weren't aware that this existed in there, but suddenly you hear a pum pum pum. Hello, boss.
For the first time, Antler is not in his study because at the moment he is on a forced vacation. So he's actually attempting, I should say, at relaxing. So at the moment he's actually on he's on the upper floor where he has set, there's a walking area with windows and sunlight that overhangs the front door of the castle, and he has set up basically a couch there to lounge and read, and he was starting to doze off until he heard Doc Matter's voice suddenly ring through the air. He actually does look around for. He actually like sits up for a minute, looks around, looking in here this way and that.
This is Dr. Matter paging Antler to the lab. Is this Is this thing working? Worked in the test. Like he's here talking to Ruby. It worked in the tests earlier.
Ruby's just cackling on the other side in the background.
Yes, doctor, I hear you. I will be there in a moment.
Great. Okay. And then there's he presses the button again and swoop.
Yeah, and he just bookmarks his book, puts it in his hammer space, and starts walking to the lab.
I think we have a jump cut when Antler's finally in the lab.
God. Yeah. Antler's in the lab.
All right. What is happening now?
Doc does jazz hands at the wand.
I was about to say Ruby was also good at do jazz hands at
they do double jazz hands
at the wand.
We have an anomaly.
Antler is just staring at you both blankly and just raises a single eyebrow and waits for explanation.
Okay, so when I went to grab my wand this morning, look, come here, and like Ruby's like going over to grab Antler's hand and drag him over.
Yeah, he lets her do this, and he humors her to look at it.
And then she points to the little itty bitty figure in the amber. You see that thing? That thing was awake this morning.
There's a clatter in the background as Doc pulls over like a series of like separate magnifying glasses to to zoom in on this thing. Clink, 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 clink.
It was
zoom and enhance.
Hey, Magic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask, because I feel like magical wands powered by a smaller creature is something that Antler would have heard about at some point. So I guess could I roll Arcana or History on this?
Roll Arcana.
Okay.
Woohoo.
History has the higher modifier, but I am okay with doing Arcana. Okay. 20.
Nice.
It's not like anything you've seen before, because I'd imagine usually when they're powered by smaller creatures, it's like an intentional.
Hold on, before you continue, I'm hearing you echo from Breaks' side.
Oh, that's odd. Let me just mute.
It's intentional. Like people would have made this a proper like they would have taken the stone, maybe like polish it off properly so you can actually see the inside without so much interference. Maybe they would have like not made it so lumpy and like lopsided. It kind of looks like they did their best to keep it circular, but it's not a very good job.
And
Does
it look like a rush job or something?
No, in fact, it looks like someone directly poured sap over it. Like directly, whatever like sort of sap material that it was encased in was just directly poured on top.
This wasn't something that was.
It wasn't.
It wasn't a
intentional.
natural occurrence. It wasn't a natural occurrence where a bug gets caught in the amber of a tree.
It was intentional, but it wasn't probably supposed to be a wand.
Hmm. Ruby's doing the jazz hands at the side again.
I think Antler is going to pick up the wand and actually hold it up to the light. And I'm just going to see if I have something real quick. That might work.
What spell is it?
Well, I'm thinking him trying either message or speak with actually message.
Go ahead.
If this creature was awake as Ruby claimed, then it's alive in there to some degree, possibly intelligent, and if it is, then message will at least be able. Anyways, so he's just gonna hold it up for a moment, and his eyes are gonna glow their usual electric blue, and if the little creature can hear him, it would hear, "Hello, can you hear me?" I don't know what those rolls are for. Then I guess
Not
let
get
them
a
know.
response. God.
Antler's gonna wait a few moments. Then he's gonna try again.
Okay.
Hello. I don't know if you are awake in there, but if you can hear me, do try to respond.
Roll me another Arcana.
All right.
Can.
22.
22.
Ooh.
You hear the faintest buzzing sound. Like, it sounds like you're trying to listen to a bee a mile away, and you can, like, very, very faintly hear it. And that's the only response you get.
Antler relays this to the other two. Before
Ruby immediately looks at the doc and is like, "See, I told you."
Fine. Gives her a gold piece.
Ruby, remind me where you got this.
Oh, Duster gave it to me. Said he found it somewhere.
This is where I roll a d10. Cool. Antler's going to nod, reach behind him, and pull out his standy speaky and press on the little button. Duster, are you available at the moment?
You hear a very distant, faint clattering sound, and then there is a crash. And then there is a small exclamation of shit.
Antler's just still holding up the standy speaky, just patiently waiting.
There's a noise feedback back to you. It still sounds like things are kind of falling. And Duster just goes, "Hi, did you need something?"
Yes, I wanted to ask you about the wand that you gave to Ruby.
Yeah, what about it? Don't I? And you hear Duster shout that off into the distance.
Donut?
Well, apparently the creature within the amber is alive, to some degree.
The what?
Duster, where did you find the wand?
I found it on a tree and it gave a faint magical signature. Do not! No!
Hey, Magic, I have to ask, is there the sound of a adolescent dragon In the background.
Yes.
Figured.
Oh,
I know, but no, do not eat. Love, please, we need the buttons. Love.
What? You hear the wet sound of buttons hitting the floor.
Ruby is cackling now.
Doc is taking notes.
Do you know where this tree was?
At the base of the cliffside. Hold on. You hear the the thing tucked away, and another sounding like faint commotion. Duster is a little busy.
Right then. Well, and Antler's just gonna. He's not sure if he's gonna be hearing any more from Duster from there, so he's just gonna tuck the standy speaky back into his hammer space and then look back at Doc and Ruby. Well then, how do we wish to? I find it best to go looking for that tree, though it might take a while.
I have a way that might be a bit faster.
Hmm.
Because, that thing's kind of in suspended animation, apparently. So if we hook it up to the old Mindscape machine.
Both of you roll insight.
Oh no, Obby!
Oh, Obby died.
Abby, no!
Sedge.
But yeah, if Doc wants to roll insight on Antler.
Sure. That 20, baby!
For obvious reasons. I'll repeat it when Obby gets here, but for obvious reasons, Doc, this man is not exactly thrilled at the idea of going back into Mindscape. For obvious reasons, considering he spent over a week stuck in his own little ice coffin. Actually, he's
Well.
basically stuck in his own memories and his own personal hell.
Well, look at it this way. We don't have to go visit your Mindscape.
Oh joy.
Abby?
Hi, Obby.
Abby?
Obby?
Albert?
Obby?
Abby?
Obby?
Give me a sec. I can't hear at the moment.
Oh no.
Technology, please.
Technology, why?
Technology.
Technology, why do you do this to us? Why do you do this to Obby?
The Albert Star. Radio killed the Albert Star.
Oh my god, Rad killed Obby? Oh no.
No! That's a red radio!
Why?
How could you?
I mean, he's a little barbarian. He's very violent.
Obby?
You hear?
Obby?
Abby?
We can hear you.
Obby?
Albert!
Obby? Little Obby?
Technical difficulties.
Obby?
Finally, Jesus.
Hey.
I swear to Peck. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello!
You good?
Yeah.
Wanna roll insight?
Headphones. Sure, I can roll insight. I don't know what I'm rolling insight for, but
It's
boy,
on
howdy,
Antler.
I'm
It's on Antler.
Okay.
It's on Antler for bringing up going into the Mindscape again.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it at advantage or not?
Still at advantage. Yeah.
B. 15.
Yeah. I same thing I told Breaks. It's very obvious that this man is not too thrilled about going into Mindscape for obvious reasons. Spent a whole week in his own personal hell that was his own mind, so so you can imagine he's not too thrilled.
Yeah.
Probably got a slight, like, pinched expression with both his ears down.
Mm-hmm.
Weh.
I could tell be just like a little quick jaunt into this thing's mind, uninvited.
I could think of so many ways of how this will go wrong. But I do suppose it would be quicker. Don't suppose you will be joining us, Doctor.
Well, I gotta stay out here so I can get you guys out, but I will have a way to interact this time. I've been tinkering with it.
And Antler's gonna look at Ruby. It is your wand.
I feel like Ruby is just kind of like has a little hand on her chin and she's like looking down at the wand. Well, I do feel like we should at least get a peek. Make sure it's not, something dangerous, I guess. Because if it's something dangerous, I don't want it to be in my pocket.
Very well, then.
Hey! Like the doc starts wheeling over the dentist stairs, scoops Ruby and Antler up and puts them in position.
Okay. Oh.
Alright, I made these a little more comfortable this time around, so, yeah, got this to fit around your antlers. Chunk. And here you go, Ruby. Chunk.
You know, when I was making plans to actually lounge about today, this is not what I had in mind.
Well, you get to go to new places, see new things. It's gonna be great. It'll be science. Yes. Alright,
Well,
right,
as
you
long
both
as
ready?
it is science.
Are you hooking the wand up to
Ruby
your
has
brain?
the distinct feeling that this is being jinxed as Doctor is talking, but she's not saying anything.
Oh yeah,
Antler-
he's absolutely hooking up the wand. There are a bunch of little, little clamps attached to it.
Is there any wood within range of Antler? Or any wood?
Yeah,
The
probably.
wand.
Yeah, the wand. Probably some
Antler's
other wood.
Antler's gonna reach over and just knock on the wood. What?
Damn,
Pong, pong.
not rolling well.
No,
Anyway.
this thing's sleepy.
This thing's
Apparently
sleepy.
All right then, Doctor.
All right. Goes over to like one of those big old Frankenstein levers. All right, in you go. Crank. And
Alright.
I think Antler looks over at Ruby just before they go, and I'm just like, was he this excited when he sent you in here?
Alright.
Doesn't even get to finish. He's out.
You get to finish inside the mindscape. Ruby, Antler, you are both standing in that hallway you guys were standing in last time. I can totally words.
You're echoing again.
Okay, try it now.
Hello?
No, it's still
Nope.
not going. I can see it. Try now.
Hello?
Ah,
Oh no.
why is it
Echo,
quiet?
why?
I mean,
All right.
I can work with an echo voice. This is nothing compared to how I used to work at a drive-thru.
Laughs in understanding.
You speak double. That is your life. Anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see if that helps.
Yeah, but you guys are standing in the Mindscape hallway. There are two familiar-looking doors. Ruby, Antler, your doors are there. They're pretty obvious. But there is a third door in this hallway. It's a, I can totally words. It's a very, all things considered, a very regal looking door. Teal with these accents of gold and yellow. I won't won't even have you roll for this. It has these patches of amber stuck onto the side.
Hmm.
Doctor, you do get something special because you do have cameras hooked up to all 3 of these, correct?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
You can see Ruby's and Antler's perspectives completely fine. Your 3rd monitor, however, that would be hooked up to the wand, is completely covered in this honeyed, this honey yellowed film, just completely.
Huh. Well,
Ooh.
I suppose that tracks. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, well, hang on. Let me, just boot myself up here. Hang on. Where is this folder? There it is.
Oh boy, what do?
And this is what pops into view.
It's a tiny little fairy dog.
Oh my god!
For those of you in the audience, and to give a little explanation, I wanted Breaks to have some more agency in this game, so Breaks has a custom mouse cursor that is going to be joining us today in the Mindscape.
Hey, listen.
God.
So this appears in front of you and just starts fluttering. Hey.
Hi.
This
Ruby
is
looks
what it looks like on the inside.
distinctly weirded out.
Yeah, Antler's kind of just squinting.
He looks like a fae now. Ruby's so weirded out.
That is the last concern Antler has at the moment, but he's squinting.
I think Ruby's just gonna pointedly walk around the dock and avoid the more familiar doors and just start walking towards the new one.
Oh.
That one!
What did you try to do?
It was a whiz save.
Oh no! What
Antler.
happened?
Antler is not moving. He's kind of just standing there looking at both at the amber door, then
Oh.
at Ruby's door, and then seeing his own, and is kind of just, oh, there's a nat one. I don't even know. I think he's just, I just don't think he's able to move at the moment.
Let's see. Doc's gonna do a little medicine here. Check. Okay, dirty 20. Yeah, that'd be, I think, some PTSD
What?
there. Let's see. Hey, Doc. Hey, Antler. Do you know where you are? Hey,
What?
look at me.
What?
Hey, listen. Hey, hi. You know where you are?
Yeah,
Can you tell me where you are?
the mines hallway.
Yes. Name me 3 things you can see.
You,
Yeah.
Ruby, and the door.
Yes. Can you feel? Can you name me 2 things you can feel?
I
What?
feel like Ruby noticing this is just kind of looking at Antler in a little confusion and wandering back.
What is happening right now? What are you doing?
Oh, you seem to be in shock. Or having a PTSD episode. You know, trying to just ground you to the present.
Ah. Yep. I think he's just kind of very slowly, very methodically, just kind of smooth his hands over his skirt and just take breaths. I'm fine. I will be fine.
All right. You know, maybe I can help a little bit. There's some typing noises, and suddenly a big shower curtain covers all the doors except the one that we need to pay attention to. Yeah, there we go.
This is fun.
Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Right.
Right?
Right.
I feel like
I'm
Ruby
gonna-
is just very quietly standing next to Antler, and she's just gonna wordlessly offer her hand for holding.
Yeah, and Antler still taking a couple breaths before he notices Ruby beside him in her hand, and it takes a few moments, but he does take her hand.
Yes, good.
Just very, very gingerly holds it. I'm just gonna make one more to see if that's helped at all. Hopefully, please. Okay, yeah, that's helped a lot. That has helped. That was a 21 on the whiz save. That has helped. Shower curtains and hand holding has helped a lot. So he's good. He can walk now.
Good.
But he is going to be holding on to Ruby's hand probably.
Oh yeah, same with Ruby.
Okay, little pixelated wings aflutter. Doc's gonna fly over to the door, examine it. Can it be opened easily?
Roll an investigation.
Okay. 15.
There is a patch of amber sticking the door shut.
That's gonna. He taps it, like clicks it like a cursor.
You want to roll a strength to try breaking it?
Yeah, let's do click and drag. Let's see how that works. No, that's a 4.
You click it like twice, and it does that little like rattle thing where it like goes where it shoots off particles, but it doesn't break fully.
Nope.
A little text box appears that says the door is locked. Or the door is blocked.
Tries right clicking it. We got a delete option in here. Nope. Okay.
Hold on, I'm just gonna. Okay. Wasn't a fumble. It was very close though. Antler.
Very close.
Yeah. Antler's gonna reach behind him and pull out his staff. And you know what? He's going to add a bit of. He's still holding on to Ruby's hand in one and the staff in the other, but he's going to take the staff and a surge of blue electricity goes through it, and the horns of the staff stretch and become much more pointed as he has just casted Booming Blade, and is going to Doctor, move out of the way, please.
Oh, okay, yeah, don't have double choice.
Yeah, and he's just gonna jab it. He's gonna jab it into the amber to break.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that works because damn.
Mm.
This thing is an inanimate object. This is just a piece of amber, bro.
Yeah.
It shatters under your booming blade, which is sound based. And the pieces kind of scatter across the hallway ground before dissolving into nothingness. And the door is free now.
Antler takes a breath. Antler takes a breath and lets the blue electrical magic kind of calm down a bit before he nods, and I think he's gonna knock on the door with the staff.
There is no response.
Of course.
Ruby's gonna open the door.
You open the door. The handle is strangely in the middle of the door and is kind of you pull it down. It's one of those bar handles, and you pull it down and it rotates in a circle basically and opens from the inside outwards. And beyond is a bit of a blinding light. It's sunlight in design. And you are all free to enter this mindscape.
The doctor just goes.
Antler shares a look with Ruby before making sure holding her hand a bit more firmly now, because
yeah, same with Ruby.
Whatever is in there, stay by my side, all right?
All right.
All right then.
All right.
And in they go.
Indigo.
Entering this mindscape, there's a bit of a blinding light, but it clears after a moment, and you all seem to be standing just beyond these giant front gates to a city. It's it's made out of what seems to be like this white polished material with these cracks of amber holding everything together. Um, and there's large like spots of light all around, and it's almost like wait, you guys are small again. Uh,
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
Rock's minuscule.
oh, you guys are absolutely small. Like you guys are probably tinier than you were when you guys shrunk. Both like when the mindscape when you guys shrunk for the
Oh,
mindscape.
for dusters?
Yeah, you guys are
You're
smaller than that. Yeah,
Oh,
you guys are
oh,
tiny.
that's worse.
I will
Oh,
not.
that's worse.
You guys are absolutely small.
I feel like I want to make a con save from Vertigo, because Jesus.
Yeah, like Doc like flits over. Is like, oh, well, glad this is the mindscape and not real life, because I don't think your well, your lungs wouldn't be able to transfer oxygen at this scale.
Not a comforting thought, Doctor.
That's
But it's
concerning.
fascinating.
There is one, like you can see trees off into the distance, but there is one main towering tree that seems to be at the center of this city. It's like this city, literally, this city seems to be pressed up against this tree, like you would press up a city against a mountain.
So this is to clarify, this is a small city or a tiny
Bitty.
city.
This is a tiny city, but Antler, this looks like a full sort of castle town. Like, do you guys
Like
all
actual
want to?
architecture.
How
Yes,
old does
actual.
it look?
Roll me an investigation.
All right.
Can I also roll this?
Yes, you may both roll it.
It's a 9.
Yeah. Investigation.
Antler is not
21.
Hey, nice.
Antler, you haven't seen anything like this before, at all.
But you're saying something.
You're not even sure what the floor is made out of, because it doesn't look like marble. But it is stark white. Also, if you want 2 breaks, you can also roll an investigation.
Ooh.
Yeah.
15.
15. Ruby, Doc. This place seems to have like proper architecture. It's sort of representative of like that medieval sort of style, but it's made out of this strange stone-looking material. It's not stone-looking. It's made out of this strange material. Which I will say, Ruby, Doc, you can both identify this as being made out of some polished bone that has been sealed together with amber.
Okay.
Well, that's an
I will
ingenious
also
use of it.
note, you guys are very small.
Yeah. I feel like Ruby finds us out by kind of like scuffing at the ground with her shoes, and like she like Ruby's the kind of kid who gets excited at the prospect of dead things.
Hey Ruby, you're standing on potentially a giant dead thing.
Yeah, so Ruby's just going like, "Oh, that's cool.
What?
That's really cool."
What?
I know cursed knowledge of how geologists identify bone versus rock, and they lick it.
Oh,
no. Do you wanna lick it?
Yeah, Doc just goes over, licks it. A little bit of the stuff gets stuck to his tongue, and he's like, bone. It's not rock, it's bone.
Bone.
It's bone! Tastes like bone.
Can I roll a history?
Sure.
Because I feel like even if it's small, and even yes, maybe he's not seen this town before. Listen, Antler's an old
A city
dude.
made out of bone sounds metal
It
and
does.
rememberable.
And you would think it would stick out in memory.
22.
Too.
Nice.
Would he have heard any hints, or even just like word of mouth?
Oh, your Antler. God, you don't know about. Okay.
Maybe he doesn't know exactly about it, but he's heard of it. So he can deduce that this is something that was real actually existed at a time and is not just a figment of this mindscape.
I will say. I can't give you any. Antler, you physically can't know this information because no one has told you about
Cool.
anything dealing with any of this. You
Cool,
don't know
so
anything about the cobblers, so I can't say anything.
Cool.
On
So
that
he absolutely knows he doesn't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, know about the cobblers, me looking directly at Ruby.
Anyway,
Can I roll history?
Sure. But Antler, you can tell. Just you can give a guesstimate on where this probably was.
Hey!
Holy shit, that's a nat 20.
For a 28, god dang.
Ruby.
Hell yeah.
Ruby, you remember story? These would be children's tales to the cobblers. Of very long ago. A city out in the forest. There was the story kind of goes there was two opposing sides. One from this great and grand city full of light, and the other a terrible empire who wanted to take it over. And there was a heroine who took a challenge from an opposing general and won and freed the people of the land.
Ooh. Honestly, this would make sense that Ruby knows this because she really does love fairy tales and the like. So, like, stories like that always stick out in her mind.
And that is the story you remember from being around the cobblers.
Yeah. I think, like, as, like, Ruby is, like, sitting around and looking around at the city, this, like, just kind of, like, absently comes to the forefront of her mind.
Do you all want to roll a perception check, actually?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, great.
The investigation was just to check out, like, what the city seemed to be made out of.
Perception?
Bone.
Perception. Holy shit! Holy shit!
19!
Okay.
Ruby, that's the second one in a row. What's with you today?
Wow!
Doc, you are too busy thinking about how buildings can be made out of bone. I apologize.
It's fascinating stuff, gotta tell you.
Antler, Ruby, you guys look out into the city, look out to the buildings, to the torn banners that adorn the walls, and there are chunks of amber sort of spliced out. Some of them are small, some of them are towering, and all of them seem to be containing figures. Most of these figures seem to be locked in some sort of combat. There's two types of figures. One, insectoid. You, Ruby, I'm just going to paraphrase. They look very much like the form you take when you use the wand. They're wearing like more soldierish uniforms, but they're very similar. The other one are these more humanoid shapes. They're kind of ashy and tree-like. Some riding these mounts of what seem to look like salamanders. And they have these spears with hooks. Definitely meant to be catching a flying opponent. And damn Doc, that's a 7.
Well,
Oh.
he's making notes about like trying to fuse bone and amber as a material when he gets back to the lab.
Yeah.
I do not want to know where you're getting the bone from.
Don't worry about
Ruby
it.
Antler,
Terrifying.
you can also note these 3 what seem to be ever falling like rivers of sap from just the skyline that are falling down onto the city.
That's creepy.
There's they kind of like go into a line. One of them is rather close. The other one, while probably bigger than the one you're right next to, is more farther into the city, and there is one right against the base of this tree.
Okay. That is a lot to observe. That is so much to see.
Are the figures that are that are seemingly in battle? They're frozen in place.
They are frozen in place.
Okay, Antler's gonna again, still holding Ruby's hand to make sure they stay together. Is gonna go up to one of them and just give a gentle tap with his staff.
There is
Tap,
no
tap.
response.
Hmm.
I will say, outside of these figures in the amber, the rest of this place is empty. Like, completely barren. There is nobody else here.
Again, concerning. I feel like as they're walking around these figures, Ruby's gonna start like talking like, this reminds me about something those kids from the little tiny group, what they told me about a little story. And
What?
like,
What? Oh,
I
hey, look at that!
yeah, and she's basically just gonna tell the same story that you described earlier, Magic, because I can't remember all the details, but Ruby would, because that was a pecking nat 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heard it
Antlers,
from Cross and Wove and Satin and Chain. You know, those guys.
Antler's just quietly listening and keeping observant as they're walking along. Also kind of taking in the fact that, man, he really did not know anything about tiny communities, not when he came back, and certainly not when during his own reign.
Yeah. Anyway, as you guys are walking, there's a very obvious main path through town that you guys are kind of following, because you were directly at the front outer gate. As you're walking towards the front inner gate, you come across one of these ever-flowing pillars of sap that is falling constantly onto the left guard tower of the inner gate.
So is the left guard tower completely engulfed in it?
Yes. And I'm not gonna have you roll perception for this. There seems to be some sort of... There's another figure in it that seems to be slowed in the motions of time. Slowly moving through this sap. Like, they've been put on, like, 0.5... Not 0.5, like, 0.25 speed.
Super slow.
Huh.
Doctor, if you would, what do you make of the sap?
Well, it's usually an excretion from trees. Generally the lifeblood come harvested, leaking out. Other things can be used as a defense mechanism in some trees. Weird that it's just kind of completely flowing, but this is Mindscape, not exactly bound by the laws of physics. Neat
Indeed.
stuff.
Could it be like a memory thing? For like,
Uh,
because like when we explored our own mindscapes, there were certain areas and things that were memories, or things associated with memories.
I would have to agree. And he kind of looks back at the kind of the battle scene that they've been walking through. This very much seems enough like a memory. Though, as for where our host is within here, and he's gonna actually look back to where the streams of sap are coming from or originating from. He's looking up there. I am towards the tree. I'm more than willing to bet we'll find answers up there.
I think Doc is just kind of like studying the figure that's in the unhardened amber, trying to like.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like someone of some like? Are they wearing armor?
They are wearing what seems to be a typical scout's uniform.
Okay. Does it seem to clock them? Like if he stays in one place for a long time?
Like, do they clock you?
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna do a mindscape roll, which is just hammer space,
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
and have Ruby. She's just gonna make a little wooden stick and start poking at the flowing amber, like the sap,
Okay.
with the
All
stick.
All right.
I don't like that.
Me either.
Ruby, roll a dex.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's great. Okay.
Can she have advantage? Because any bad thing that is about to happen, Antler is gonna react. He's also holding her hand.
Is it a dex
No.
save or is it a dex, just a straight dex?
Do a dex.
Okay.
Another nat 20.
Hell yeah!
You underestimate. Damn.
Amazing.
Ruby, you underestimate how sticky sap can be, and you try to pull your stick back out, and it doesn't pull back out. Like,
No
you
touching
can
sap,
kind
then.
of pull it back out, but it doesn't fully pull back out.
Hmm.
It still has like a string of sap on it. It's real sticky.
Yeah,
He
Antler
just kind of
upon,
like flicks it off. Like, ugh. Ugh.
yeah, Antler upon seeing that is just gonna take a step back with Ruby and just, well, we'll not be touching that anytime soon.
Oh, but won't you?
Don't.
Please.
Antler is not. He is going. He's gonna, you know, squeeze Ruby's hand and walk onward towards the tree.
Alright.
Hey, Brinks. I hear you cackling.
Hey, Brinks. Do you wanna poke the amber?
For science.
Doctor.
The doctor looks at you, one hand already in the ember.
Hey, doctor. Alright. Doctor. What everyone else sees is, actually, you have a cursor, and you're not in this world.
Nope.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna have happen then. Doctor, you put the little mouse cursor into the liquid, and on your third screen, a room flashes.
Oh.
Ooh.
You are now in this small, it's monochrome, but it's tinted in that same sort of yellowed hues. And, would you like to roll a perception?
Sure. Science. 5. I'm glad to be with science.
Uh, breaks. This is the point and click part of this adventure. Anyway,
Mhm.
Doctor, you you have this computer mouse and you start clicking all over this room
Mhm.
because
Everything, every single pixel. Okay,
there
that one. Not that one.
you can open and close the curtains with very fast. You can open and close the drawers. There's a little animation of like pencils and stuff flying out of the drawers when you do so.
Good
There's
animation on this.
there's
Doctor, what are you doing?
Hang on.
there are there are these leaves on the desk that when you click on them, they you get a little item added to the bottom of your bar.
Oh,
Taking a
it's a
closer look at them, it's one of those like set piece items where they're all like in a stack, but you can still kind of look at them. They seem to be maps of some sort. And since this is like I'm imagining like a 3D model that you'd see in a video game that you can like spin and turn.
Ooh,
There
yeah.
there are like little like pieces on this board
Ooh.
that are carved out of like very small pieces of wood. They kind of look like those little military pieces. I'm giving you all of this with a 5 because I'm having fun. And the last thing you click on is a floating piece of paper that was slowly descending to the floor. Very slowly, like it was stuck in molasses. Uh, and a piece of paper gets added to your inventory.
Oh,
Would you like to read
well,
it?
yes, please.
All right. The letter reads, uh, General of the Amber Trees, I challenge you to a duel, one of honor and to the death. If you win, my army shall retreat and leave your pathetic city alone. If I win, your city is mine. General of the
Oh.
Acid Wastes.
Oh.
And
Hmm.
as you pick up that letter, that third screen kind of buzzes out again, back into that single shade.
Huh. Is Doc now re-aware of where he was in the city previously?
Not only are you re-aware, Ruby Antler, the stream dries up basically. It there's no more falling sap, and instead what is left is just a perfect, well, not perfect, but just a glob of amber sitting over this guard tower. Doctor, you may easily remove your hand. I won't have you struggle to remove a hand from this.
Okay, thank
I
you.
was about to ask.
Would it be funnier if they had to pull him out?
It would, but also
Would they have to pull him out because he's a cursor at the moment?
Antler was gonna pry him out with with the horns of his staff.
if
All
you
while
really want to.
It doesn't have to. It's just like a small moment of Antler grumbling. Just. No, let's just touch everything. The mindscape. Surely nothing bad will happen. No, of course not. You are just touching everything. And just take him out.
Yeah.
Well, learned some very interesting things. There was I think that was a memory.
Have we? What kind?
Okay.
Like there's you hear some clicking as the cursor pauses, and then there's like a little screen that goes whoop and replays exactly what he saw, so you get to see the doc just absolutely clicking everything in the screen. And then finally center the maps with the little war emblems and the letter. Aha, ta-da!
I will paste the text of the letter because I don't feel like saying it again. I need to delete this part
That's
of the
fair.
letter
That's fair,
because
that's
that part
fair.
wasn't important. Anyway.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Either way. I feel like you meant like Ruby seeing like all these items that have been clicked and collected. She's just gonna like be like, oh, can we like see the maps and stuff? Do you still have them?
Does Doc still have those?
You can access your inventory.
Hey! Alright, let's see. A 5. He pulls them out. Oh, hey, look at that.
Ruby makes a grabby hand.
Okay.
Ruby.
These are huge in Doc's diminutive cursor form.
Yeah. Ruby, you look at these maps. You have no idea what they say.
Oh, what language is it? What
language is it?
specifically?
Antler's gonna look over and see if he can read them.
I don't remember which languages you guys have.
Antler has a
I
lot.
can...
He's got Abyssal, Celestial,
Okay, Ruby
Common,
has-
Deep Speech, Infernal, and Undercommon.
Okay.
Ruby has the 2 different signs, cartoon and real kind. She's got common, infernal, and Grolix is an undercommon.
No.
Ah, well.
Dang it. Drat.
Man, I kind of
We
want to.
could read the... We could read the letter.
Yeah.
What language was that in?
Interestingly enough, it's more of like you can't read it, but you know what it says.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh,
I
that's
feel like they all
cool.
realize this, and then Ruby's just like, oh. Oh.
That's fascinating. Hey, let's go find some more glowing amber. I want to go see. I want to go play again.
No.
Oh, come on.
Please.
I mean, I want to do more research again.
Gonna roll insight on you, Doc. 21.
Oh, the Doc is having fun.
Ruby is staying quiet next to Antler. But she seems to be very interested in this now. Because there are things that are learning, and she's just... It's just kind of vibrating in place.
Yes.
Magic. Just one of the streams has gone still, yes?
Yes. One of the
So the
streams
other-
has gone still. But you can notice the other streams seem to be not pouring as much,
But they're still going.
but they're still going.
Doctor, you...
Ooh.
To be certain, it was touching the sap that unlocked that memory, yes?
Well, you know, the best way to confirm a hypothesis is to repeat the experiment.
Fine, but only you are to be touching it, since you are technically not in here.
Got it.
Aww.
Excellent.
And yes, and then he looks at you, Ruby, which means you are not to touch it at all. Am I clear?
Well, you know what? I can just, you know what? I'll next time I touch it, I'll have that display up so you can watch it as I'm doing it. Okay? But
Very
no
well.
backseat gaming.
Fine.
Points directly at Ruby.
Backseat gaming.
I'll
I
tell
feel
you about it later.
Antler and Ruby say backseat gaming at the same time because Ruby does not understand.
Anyway.
They both look.
They have no idea. They don't know what games. They know what games are, but in this context,
Not
they don't.
video games.
Not video games, no.
God damn.
Anyway.
Okay.
But anyways, I guess onward they go to the next,
Yeah.
to the other.
To the streams.
To the next thing.
Gonna roll perception while they're walking though, because Antler is still
Montage.
keeping vigilant, and he's not. He's not. Yes, Ruby and Doc are having fun, but Antler is not letting his guard down because Mindscape is a fickle bitch. No, that's a 7. He's also not having a good
I'm
time.
also gonna roll perception.
Oh, that's a nat 1. I think you're overdue for one of those.
I think I can actually say why the perception's not good is because Antler's trying to focus, but he's having like another. I don't want to say he's having another PTSD episode, but it could very well be that that's happening at the moment because, yeah,
Ooh.
Mindscape.
Hmm.
And so far, not terrible things have happened yet, But
You know what? I'm going to take those perceptions for something else.
oh,
Oh no.
I worked hard on that scene. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay. Worry.jpg.
Worry.jpg.
I think Doc starts out just by like taking like pointing like a little video camera at like the architecture so he can like examine it later after the
Yeah.
adventure in the mindscape.
Walking
I
through
think
this.
Ruby's gonna give Antler's hand a squeeze.
yeah, he squeezes back.
Okay. Walking further into the city, there's a lot more amber patches now. They're covering entire buildings. There seems to be an entire street that is just like absolutely awash with one. And as you guys get closer and closer to this giant thing of sap, you begin to see it seems to be encasing a coliseum. It's a
Ooh.
very strange looking coliseum. It's not that tall, and it seems to have some. It seems to be very. Oh, what's the word? I want to describe it like very wireframe. Like it's very much like it's not. It's not. Okay, I can definitely words. I swear. It's very wireframe. Like a lot of probably lighter sized people are sitting on these, or maybe not sitting at all. Because these people can apparently
Wings.
fly that live here.
Yeah.
And, I forgot one piece of description I meant to do at the beginning.
Huh?
I completely forgot. I wanted to say it looks like the architecture. The Tooth Palace from Rise of the Guardians.
Oh.
The architecture looks very similar to that. That is the one thing I wanted to mention that I forgot.
That
Oh.
certainly puts things into perspective.
Oh.
Okay. Oh,
Oh.
Oh.
Not tooth fairies, just like the Tooth Palace, because I looked at the Tooth Palace and went, that looks very cool.
That
And,
is
yeah.
very cool.
Mhm.
But it's made of bone and amber. That's really cool.
That's a
that is
dope
really
bell.
neat.
That's really cool.
Mhm.
Anyway, as you all get
That's
closer,
neat.
as you all get closer to this Coliseum, like this, you guys are all looking up at this giant, like this thing of sap would probably be, God, even for like a big, it'd probably be like a football in like diameter, basically.
Ooh.
Like this pillar of sap is absolutely huge, and could I get everyone to roll a dex save real fast?
Okay.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no, that's concerning.
How my deck saves just a straight D20. Is this
No.
that?
What's
We got
that?
the same roll. High five.
Yeah, high five. Antler and Ruby are standing side by side, hand in hand. They go down together.
They're okay. You both are looking up. You're not looking down at your feet to the sap
Oh.
that is slowly encroaching upon the street, and both of you step directly into the sap.
Just a pair of wet squelching sounds.
Yeah, and Doc, you see both of your companions. You're flying, so you don't really have this problem.
Mhm.
Both step into the amber and then just go completely still as their screens seem to be in one of those memory flashbacks.
Oh, come on. I was supposed to be doing this. All
Do you
right.
also want to touch the amber?
Yep.
You stick your hand into the amber or your foot.
Mhm.
And I'm going to go ahead and take a drink of water because I need.
That is fair. That is fair. Take a sippy.
All right.
Take a sippy sip.
Gonna move down. Dun, 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 dun. You. Alright, I'm going to start out with Ruby. Ruby,
Oh.
you are standing in the middle of the Colosseum.
Oh.
You are in your cobbler form.
Oh.
And you. It looks mostly the same, at least that you can tell. But you're holding the sword. You're holding a sword, and you are holding what seems to be just this very wand-like piece of amber, polished and cut. And you are
What?
standing in front of a very tall figure. Not like, big sized, but more of like they're taller than you, who is very small.
Uh.
They are one of those humanoid tree-looking ashed figures who has that ash drifting from his hair and what seem to be bits of heat glowing just beneath the bark of his outer surface.
Oh, that's sick.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Antler.
Ruby is just standing here.
Yep, you currently do not have control. You are within a memory. Antler.
Oh boy.
I apologize. Antler, you are not standing with Ruby. Rather, you know those boxes Colosseums have where whatever person of power watching over this match usually sits in?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
You are standing
Oh.
in one of those. You are right against the railing looking out at this scene. Your hands are a more chillin-like quality. Um, you you can feel an unfamiliar weight upon your back of these very long insectoid wings, and you also lack depth perception because you only have one eye.
Am I able to move at all?
No.
No?
Oh, great. Okay. That's fun.
I'm just real quick, because I have to, because you've just he was already not doing great. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
he is not having a panic attack in this situation. He is holding it together. What does he see in the Colosseum?
You see, it's a mix. Antler, it is a mix of your own emotions and a sort of mix of something else. It's you see what appears to be Ruby, but a faint echo in your mind also fills out someone else. Another name you don't recognize. It's it's in that language probably that you read earlier on the maps.
Hmm.
Uh, you you hear that echo when you think Ruby, and you see an opponent facing her down.
What is happening?
And
What is happening? This is Ruby's internal dialogue. What is happening?
Doc, you have entered a cutscene.
Yeah, Antler in
Come
his
on.
mind is trying very hard to move.
Doc
Antler,
is trying to click on things and it's just not happening.
no. Antler,
Can I skip
you
this one?
Antler,
Unskippable.
you are getting a different feedback of nervousness and dread for probably a completely different reason than you were feeling nervous and dread.
Mm-hmm.
And Antler, your form raises its hand. Any feedback noise from the crowd, there's a crowd here, goes completely silent, and you snap, and the vision is over. You guys are no longer in the Colosseum. You are back outside where you once were. The entire Colosseum has been encased in this giant pillar of amber, and y'all are free to move again.
Yeah, cool. Ruby's immediately backing the peck up.
As is Antler. At the moment, they are like their feet are no longer on Amber, he is immediately. I'm actually gonna make another check for it. Actually,
I'm sorry, Antler. I didn't.
maybe one more time. Okay. He is immediately on his knees in front of Ruby and checking her over.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll something for Ruby real quick, actually, because okay, Ruby pulls out like an equivalent of the wand, and is just pointing it at the Amber, like.
You're pointing the ambered wand at the amber?
Or at least basically like the Mindscape equivalent, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
it's still her wand in her own mind, so like, it's just a wand.
Yeah, it's just a wand.
Yeah.
Amber's busy just checking her over because he did not like what he did not like what he saw back there, and he did not like the fact that he had no control over what could have happened in that memory. He knows he knows it is not his. He is more than aware that it is not his memory that he saw, but very much aware of seeing Ruby in the middle of a coliseum. Not good. He didn't like it. Ruby, you are currently getting fussed over.
Oh.
There is nothing wrong with Ruby. You don't even have to roll a medicine. Well, outside of Ruby does have anything, like, there's no physical injuries. Ruby did not get physically hurt by this.
Yeah, he just, upon seeing that she's fine, takes a breath. All right.
I don't like this anymore.
What?
Ruby says very pointedly, and she goes right next to Antler.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to leave? Tell you what. Like he right clicks or double taps the air, and like there's like a little save icon. Taps that. Save and exit. How about we just take like a little break?
Yeah.
So,
like
Ruby and Antler, you wake up in the chair. Is that okay?
Yeah, Antler just leans forward in the chair and is just wiping his face, just ears completely down, and just.
God damn it.
This thing just won't wake up!
Apparently not!
I'm
so sorry, Ruby took all the high rolls earlier.
Those were amazing rolls, though. Damn.
That's a 3 and a 5. Okay. I will say in that case, Doc, your third screen is still pulled up. Whatever was in the Mindscape has not left with you. Because again, that was a 3 and a 5.
Yep.
But Doc, I will notice the vision seems to be getting clearer on that third screen. You can kind of see faint shapes. Not of the outside world, but of the Mindscape.
Oh. Reminiscent of anything they'd seen?
No. It's not that clear yet.
Antler's checking in with Ruby. Are you alright?
I'm gonna real quick. Oh yeah, no! Ruby is not doing as okay. Cause listen, she could not move during that. Do you remember the last time she couldn't move? In a situation? Remember? I point at Smalls, that situation?
Oh shit.
Yeah, magic!
Do I have to roll insight, or?
I will preface this was not meant to be a high Angst game. I apologize.
You should add advantage.
You have advantage. You have advantage.
A
10.
Even then, that's an 8 that Ruby got. She's kind of like sitting on the dentist chair with like her knees hugged against her chest. Like, ooh.
Yeah,
Okay,
Antler's gonna walk over and he's just gonna sit next to her and just hug the child.
Aw. Bridget and Officer come on over and dispense sandwiches and coffee.
Yeah, both. I think those are going to be accepted.
Yeah. They're just taking a break.
Yep.
They're just taking a break.
And speaking of taking a break, can we?
Yeah.
Do you want to take like a 5-10 minute break?
Yeah.
Like an hour and a half.
Alright.
Yee.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dances.
A little recovery time.
I'm going to pause the recording real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to skip out. Excuse me.
I'm also going to go check on my cat because I think she hoiked. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yee.
I'll probably also be right back just to make sure my dog hasn't done anything rash. So, yeah.
Yee. I'm gonna go get water.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Tea for
Oof.
Tidies.
Oof.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, for the spell break that the characters are getting, I think Antler is just... I think just sharing the one chair with Ruby because she's small enough.
Yeah. Sharing chair, eating sandwich,
Yep.
avoiding the
eating
coffee like the plague.
Antler's drinking the coffee.
No, Ruby's not drinking the coffee.
God damn it. I don't understand. I don't understand. I have rolled twice above a 10, and that was like a 12.
Oh.
Man, the dice
Dice
person
person's
really
not having
said,
it
heck
today."
you.
God. Man.
Man.
Really does not like this thing in the wand. Anyway. Thing in the wand is still just snoozing.
Like, Doc has been sliding around, like, putting something together during your break.
A thought occurs to Antler as well, though. Doctor,
Oh, yeah.
would it not be easier to simply extract the creature from the amber?
I mean, I have a way to break the amber, but probably would also break the creature.
Hmm.
Hmm. I want to see if I can roll something to see if that's a good idea or not.
Roll Arcana.
Oh, Arcana!
Holy shit.
Wow.
30. Ruby, I grip you by the shoulders. This is a terrible idea. Not only... Okay, let me go in order of why this is a terrible idea. 1, it would break your wand. Like, this wand would not have any magical properties anymore, and it would be better just to use a normal stick. 2, you're looking at this thing, and you can probably you're a smart girl, you can probably put together that what probably woke this thing up was you pouring magic into it. And if it stopped being a wand, the thing inside would probably, stop. If you tried to extract this thing, it probably wouldn't work out very well.
Oh. 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 I feel like Ruby's gonna give her 2 cents on that. I don't have the brain cells to repeat it, but yeah.
Yeah, that was my thinking too. Let's see. I want to go back in there, but apparently you two are having issues.
To say the least. However, Ruby, if you think it was your magic that was waking it up, arguably all you'd have to do is keep using magic.
True, but And like Ruby's just like sitting and frowning at the wand, like it's insulting her.
The wand remains silent.
Because, god damn it, she's curious.
Antler's gonna look at it as well, and I think he's just gonna try and cast message again.
Okay.
I don't think he says anything this time, but he does open that magical connection.
Okay. Alright. 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 Doc, your screen kind of fuzzes for a minute from the wand's end. And, Antler, you get that, like, faint little buzz again. But after that sort of message connection breaks again, the screen returns to normal, and this thing still has not woken up.
Well, you're getting some sort of reaction there.
I have one more. I actually do have another spell I could use. Antler's eyes are gonna glow a bit brighter this time, and he's going to cast Detect Thoughts, and that requires a Whiz save from the creature.
Okay. I did not give this character stats, so I'm just gonna roll another d20.
Nope.
13.
For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures when you cast the spell, and as your action, you initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is the most on its mind in that moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind. So, Antler's gonna probe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Surface
Which
level
is
thoughts, which are the thoughts, still, like, of this creature still being apparently in the mindscape, is just a very, like, one of those very sleepy, like, sort of, God, thoughts are hard because words, it's more of the they don't know what's happening sort of thing. Because they are still trapped, apparently. They can't see anything, because it's all just yellow. What do you want to probe further on? I don't know how this spell works. Hold on.
Let's see. Either way, the target knows that you are probing into its mind. So it knows he's there, and he's not even attempting to make it subtle. Questions verbally directed at the targeted creature naturally shape the course of its thoughts, so this spell is particular. As part of interrogation, he's not trying to interrogate it, but
You know, I wish the spells would pull up.
I could screenshot it.
Hold on.
Yeah, I could
I
copy.
finally got it, so. Okay.
Alright, never mind.
Wisdom save, failed that wisdom save. It's reasoning, it's emotional state, something that lives large in his mind. Okay.
Antler wants to know who this is.
This is somebody who is called Lady Omni.
Lady Omni. And Antler says her name out loud.
What?
That's who this is. Their name is Lady Omni.
Me making chin hands at magic. Can I roll history?
Sure? Yeah. Go ahead.
Listen, Ruby knows about cobbler stuff. If there's any inkling of what this could be applied to anything, I don't know. 18.
Omni's a pretty common name among the it's a pretty common name for the cobblers, anyway.
I think just Ruby just makes an absent mental note of that,
Antler,
but otherwise doesn't say anything.
if you're trying to find out who this person is, to be specific, because I just had to pull up the notes for a different section altogether.
Oh.
This is Lady Omni, second but only daughter of the Queen, of Lavalia, the Amber Trees.
Antler is once again relaying this information out loud as he is seeing it within this small creature's mind.
Doc's just taking notes as while he's still attempting to finish building whatever it is he's trying to build in the background.
Oh my god!
Magic. It's very obvious Dice Parser isn't gonna let you have this. If you want them to wake up, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You are directly pouring magic probably on this wand, so.
I mean, he's using the spell, so.
Doc, your screen for the third one fuzzes and then flickers out.
Oh.
And it takes a moment before that same eye opens. It's very glowy, and it slowly opens out into the world. Antler, the thoughts, like the surface thoughts you're getting are very muffled. Like you just woke up in the morning, sort of muffled. And yeah, this creature is now awake.
Antler, I think, is too focused keeping the detect thoughts going, and to keep the mental connection that he's managed to make.
Yeah, seeing that the screen has gone out, Doc slides on over to the wand and sees that the little eyes open. Hey, okay, they're awake. Hello in there.
Does Antler see any reaction to this?
No, the eye seems to be like drifting, but it's not really locking onto anything.
So what Doc saw with the mindscape leaking out, does that mean currently the mindscape is not available?
I mean, it's been kind of established that the mindscape is when you're kind of in that sort of trance dream-like state. And this thing is currently awake and somewhat aware, so the mindscape has kind of flickered out.
Hello. Tap 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 tap.
The figure flinches.
Oh,
like
hey.
Yeah, and when it flinches, Antler kind of does at the same time. Preferably, do not tap it, Doctor.
Fine.
Detect thoughts. You get the echo of that tap, but like it would be like a question mark at the end of the taps. Like, what is tapping? Hello?
But for the most part, it really can't make out what the outside world very much within the amber, can it?
It's kind of looking in the direction of the doctor now.
Can it see the doctor?
You know, I'm just gonna give it to you. It's kind of going What the fuck is that?
That's pretty par for the course, honestly.
Well, our little guest here is definitely awake, though very confused. By just to let you know, Magic, detect thoughts is a concentration up to a minute, so.
Okay.
I feel like Ruby has been made curious enough that she's hopping up from the chair and she's wandering over to the wand and just quietly peering down inside.
I will say, Antler, your connection does break after that minute is up.
Yeah. I think he lets it. And he's gonna watch Ruby, and he's a bit wary of the wand, but he knows it hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah. I feel like Ruby's just kind of quietly watching it before she goes, hello? Can you hear us?
It's still just kind of staring at the direction the dock is.
I feel like Ruby's not going to tap it, but she's just going to kind of wave her hand in front of the wand.
It sort of blinks again. And it attempts to like track on to your hand as it waves. But God, I put my hand on all of your shoulders. This thing is tiny.
Yeah, so
you
which
are
is
all
why
very big.
now I figured that. Which is why Antler's gonna get up and walk over to Ruby and the wand, and he's gonna you know what? Third time's a charm. He's gonna cast message again.
Okay, what do you say?
Just hello.
Hello?
This is the third. Ah, there you are. What do you last remember?
Who are you?
My name is Antler. And you are Lady Omni, correct?
Slightly unnerving, but I suppose not to be unexpected. Hello?
Yes. I do apologize. This situation is likely very unnerving for you, considering. Do you know where you are? Or what you are in, more specifically?
Amber, of course.
Oh, good. Saves some explanation. Do you know how you ended up in the amber?
Why, yes. Mother... Oh dear. Oh boy. This is not exactly how... Okay, hold on. Give me a second. This is not exactly how I expected this conversation to go. Very obviously.
I feel like Ruby's just standing off to the side like, what the heck is happening?
Yeah, Antler's talking out loud for the sake of the other two to hear him, at least.
Yeah. But they cannot hear Lady Omni's reactions, so...
Yeah, it's very one-sided. But, oh yes, you are an amber, but you are also connected to a wand.
You know, I probably shouldn't be surprised. Well, I suppose I can do a little explanation. The amber is a part of was a part of a ritual, a long band, but my mother broke it to hopefully save me from an unfortunate fate. And I suppose it didn't exactly do what we expected it to.
I would not know.
You have not heard of my mother?
I'm afraid I have not.
Oh. Oh, and the side goes silent as like the eye blinks a few times, and kind of it seems to like flicker around in thought. It is thinking.
Is
Oh, what is
thinking.
this?
This is Doc's current. Like, Antler speaks. Look at Antler. Antler,
I
stop speaking. Look at Amber.
There are two other people here with me, Ruby Red and Dr. Greymatter. Up until recently, Ruby was the one using your wand. Until you started to wake up.
Well, I suppose I should be giving her my thanks then, that I am awake.
Mm. And Antler's actually gonna look at Ruby for a second, and she wishes to thank you.
Oh. Ruby just kind of like stands there for a second, like, that was not the first thing she expected from hearing bits of this conversation, but you know what? I mean, I guess you're welcome. I don't know if she can hear me.
It's a fair thought. Can you hear her talking? He directs this question to Lady Omni.
Well, noting my ears are encased in amber, it's a solid no.
Thought not. Well, Ruby says you're welcome.
God. You can all see, like, the little eye do the little, like, curve, that would happen if you were to smile.
Oh,
Hmm.
Oh.
the Doc very, very gently like puts like a stethoscope thing on the top of the amber and kind of listens.
They're not exactly. It's again, this is probably a very tiny heartbeat, if there is one.
Sorry.
It is rather faint. Uh,
Is it slow?
mm,
Kinda.
I mean, like, okay. The Doc, the body it's encased in amber. It's in a
Mhm.
sort of like half stasis. It's not really it Lady Omni is awake in there, but she can't do things like move or like really anything. It until like all of those taps happened, she couldn't even really wake up.
Gosh, I have
Uh,
questions, but Ruby does not know any of the other side of this conversation. She has no context.
Do you want to give me the questions? Because I'm trying to think of what to ask his Antler.
Mhm.
Because I know he would have stuff to ask.
yeah,
Well,
at the moment,
Ruby's
Doc is
biggest question would be, do you know how to get out if you knew about the ritual? However, she does not know that context.
Actually, it's
So-
funny. You know, it's a good thing you told me that, reminded me that, because that actually was a question I was thinking of. So you know what? Back into character. Whoop. Lady Omni, if you are familiar with the amber, and if your people used it for a ritual, would you know how to get out of it?
Well, again, as I said, the ritual didn't exactly go as planned. It it's a lost art, completely and wholly, banned by my great grandfather. Uh, But the mages who used it beforehand were said to be able to give advice even after taking grievous wounds, or even to be reborn in a sense. Mother was hoping it would patch my wounds, but I don't think that's what the ritual was for.
Oh. Oh.
Hmm.
Oh. Oh.
But in short,
Obby is thinking about the Colosseum fight. Obby's thinking about the Colosseum fight. Oh
Remember
no!
what I mentioned during break? The Colosseum fight was meant to be longer? Anyway.
yeah.
Mm.
Antler thinks about this, relays what she's telling him. But in short,
Now Ruby's thinking about the Colosseum fight.
yeah. But in short, you do not know how to get out.
I do not think you are meant to get out.
Do you want to?
Lady Omni falls silent. I don't
cannot
know.
Would you be against? Would you be against Dr. Matter looking into ways of possibly freeing you?
Could
As
you
it
answer
stands,
me one thing, Antler?
I can.
Do you know if my people still stand?
I do not.
Do you not what?
I do not know if your people still stand, Lady Omni. And to be quite frank,
Ruby tugs on Antler's sleeve.
what? Hold on.
I think they are still around, or maybe at least descendants. Remember, I heard the story about the wall from the city and the mindscape from the little clothing kids. You know, the ones that made that dress for you one time.
Antler nods. All right. I've just been informed that while I am not sure if the city you are from is still standing, I do believe your people, or at least generations after, have survived.
Antler, you get this sigh of relief from the other end. Then my foolish folly was not in vain. To be honest, that is all that brings peace to my mind. I do not much care what else happens.
Are you sure? Are you certain?
Yes.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Doc in the background is holding up an acetylene torch, prospectively and looking questioningly at Antler. So is that a go?
Maybe not with the torch, Doctor.
Hey Antler,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
you get a ping of message in your mind.
Antler just blinks and
Could I ask?
yes.
Could I ask why you all are so large in silhouette?
Have you ever met a friend of mine close to your size would call us bigs. From our perspective, you are very small.
Oh. I suppose that would make sense if I'm a wand. No, I don't believe so.
Well, then you might. can't lie, Antler's not quite sure where to go with this from here, because...
Hmm.
You know what? Actually, if Lady Omni has message, I think there's one person here who knows more, who would know more of you than I. And if you have message, then
I sure hope I have message.
seems you do. And Antler is gonna back away from and basically he's gonna move Ruby to be within sight of Lady Omni, so that Lady Omni can presumably cast message onto Ruby, so they can have a chance to talk.
Yeah.
Because this is Ruby's wand. This is a little lady in Ruby's wand. Maybe they should talk about how they want to go forward with this.
Ruby, you get a poke at your mind, basically. Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, I'm Ruby. You're Lady Omni, right?
Yes. Again, thank you, Ruby.
Oh,
I
you're
am in your
welcome.
debt.
Ruby does not know what to do with debt. She's gonna shove that aside. Worry about that later. Man, I had questions, but they left. They fled the building. They fleed.
I think Antler, while these two are having a talk, is going to go and discuss with Matter. Even if Lady Omni said that while Lady Omni doesn't seem to be completely and utterly bothered by being in Amber, he's still gonna talk with Dark Matter to look over options on how to safely get her out of the Amber.
Oh yeah, the doc actually has some ideas. It needs a little workshopping. I'm gonna send you a message, Fable.
Okay, yeah, these two old men are having talk in the background.
I feel like it is just a very awkward conversation with long stretches of silence because this is just a really weird situation. Even for a resident of Ruindal.
Oh.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about, by the way.
Hmm.
I have no idea.
Neither do I. Shrug
Watermelon.
emoji.
That could potentially work.
Watermelon.
So, what's it like being in a wand? That might be a stupid question, and I say it out loud, but...
I do not think it is stupid. I mean... I have been asleep for some time. I believe my presence awareness is probably drawn to magic coursing through the amber. But it's weird? Tingly, I suppose?
Tingly.
Yes. Sometimes it's very warm. More like a warm hug than being lit on fire, but...
Don't like that.
Ruby sweating in... I cast a lot of fire magic, so that makes sense. So... I feel like I want to be getting your consent with this, but like, if... don't know. How you do... Trying to word this question is really hard. You mentioned a folly, and you mentioned wounds.
Oh, yes. I'm. I was. Am? I don't know. The general for my people. I was second in line, you see. My sister at the time was first in line, so I had more freedom to pursue other matters, and I took a liking to spells and swords, and I never expected to actually fight such a large battle. But the opposing general decided that he was going to take my city, and I suppose he got overconfident? Overconfident, or maybe he thought he would. I honestly don't know, but I was challenged to a duel, and I probably should not have taken it. It seems rather silly after sitting still for so long. But I suppose if it did win my people back a home, it can't have been that foolish. Though
I
it
think
did.
I saw that memory, or at least a part of it.
What?
Oh, well, when we were trying to wake you up, we may have, well, like Ruby pauses as she tries to think a way to explain this. We were basically trying to get a read on the situation, if that makes sense.
Is.
Go looking through a few memories to see what we could find, to see if we could even possibly wake you up.
Oh. That's. That makes sense, I suppose.
That must have been really scary.
it. It was, but it was a. It was a chance I was willing to take at the time. My my mother did not agree with me.
I guess it makes sense, considering what the apparent result was.
I suppose since you haven't brought it up, you can't see it, can you?
Well, I'm very big.
I suppose you're correct. It's a rather nasty wound. I'd probably rather you didn't.
That's fair.
Think in the middle of that you just hear, "Is that a good idea? We don't know we don't understand your technology very well."
Ah, it's fine. I can make like a big button. You press it, everything shuts down.
What?
Ah, don't worry about it.
Ruby is pulled out of the conversation for a second, and she hears that little snippet of.
We were talking about going back into the mindscape to learn more of this ritual. We have a few thoughts of how to get Lady Omni out of the amber, but till we know more, we don't wish to risk anything just yet.
Oh, so it'd be a matter of reverse engineering it. Is that right?
Yeah, I was thinking if there's any information on this ritual that she was talking about, it'd probably be in her mind. But also, could you ask her, is like her body fused with the amber?
Ruby relays this question. Is it fused with the amber? Or is it just inside it?
Lady Omni is silent for a moment. And then a moment longer. There's the blinking of the eye within the amber. Well, Sort of?
She says sort of.
Enlarging object would be out of the question then.
Yeah, I was hoping I could make a little bit of space so we could get something in there, but that's on the table. I think we probably do need to go back in the mind space. Mindscape. Well, actually,
I'm just imagining both Antler and Ruby just making a very uncomfortable sound at the same
Yeah.
time.
but I have a workaround. And like he taps like the little headset that he's been wearing. This allowed me to, kind of be there while out here. So I have, and he pulls up 2 more. And he hands one to Antler, hand one to Ruby.
Yes. And I think he'll exchange a look with Ruby of just like, well, this isn't going in.
The whole time.
No, I just built them.
Okay, because I was about to throttle you.
Antler just sighs as he just fits them over his head with the antlers. Throttle later, solve problem now.
And he takes his headset off and then hops into one of the dentist chairs.
Before they get started, Ruby is gonna explain the situation to Omni.
Yeah.
Antler's also gonna ask the doctor to quickly run by him the controls.
Okay. The doc does so. Should we roll to see how well he does?
Oh dear. Did I also roll I'll also roll intelligence.
Intelligence.
Hey, dirty 20.
Okay.
Okay.
Does Ruby also want to try?
Ruby, you can roll. You can roll
14.
with advantage because you have worked with the doctor before on
nice.
adjacent projects to this.
Nice.
Okay,
14
I'll
it
give
is.
14.
Antler, this is technology. A lot of the terms go over top of your head.
Yes, it's not his domain.
Ruby, you do understand it. You've worked with the doctor before, and Doc rolled pretty high. So you do kind of understand what happens with this. Like, yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
It's essentially a point and click video game.
Point and
There's
click
a nice
video
big shiny
game.
red button that says emergency shut off
Oh.
or emergency eject.
Neat.
Yeah, it's totally not ominous at all.
Man.
Only press in an emergency, no matter how tempting the shiny red button is. Okay, but yeah, then Doc hops into one of the chairs himself. And we're gonna have a little reverse.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is fun.
Wait, Doc is going in, and Antler and Ruby have the point and click adventure.
Yep,
They
you
have-
guys
they
get
have
the
the-
cursors this time around.
They have the little cursors.
Amazing.
Okay. Doc, you enter the hallway in the mindscape. Can you explain to me what Doc's mindscape door looks like? Because I am insanely curious.
There is a shower curtain in the way.
You do not perceive.
And that door, the door for Lady Omni's is open again. Both I will say, now that Lady Omni is actually aware of the world, the second screen vision of where Lady Omni is, her view is still kind of covered in that strange, like, honeyed liquid that's probably sap. But it's also, like, visibly blinking, like, and there's a hand that kind of goes up to cover the eyes. Well, the eye.
Ooh.
And, yeah, Doc, you're free to
Ooh.
walk in.
Oh, yep. And in he goes. Just sliding on in.
Don't mind me. I'm just picturing like the little mouse cursors.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ruby and Antler have.
Please imagine that Antler's cursor is like just kind of unsteadily floating about the mindscape and occasionally bonks into something like, wait, no. Just hear click, nope.
you're able to pretty easily speed run through the other areas. There's no dangers in here.
Speed running.
Speed running.
Just sliding forward at an extremely fast speed.
He no clips through a building.
He no clips through a building. You no clip through a building.
Just T-poses, wait. God mode.
Hold on, let me go to the part. I can do anything.
Chaos.
God.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, my sides hurt. Give me a second. Just stop T-posing the mental image.
Doctor, are you sure you're all right in here?
Hang on. Ooh, I need to stop laughing. Oh, never better. Hang on. Just T-poses through another wall.
Doc, at one point you pull out a bucket and then you like get on top of it and you
Alright,
fly
let's
up
watch
to
this.
get.
Jump 360.
Antler,
Right to the air.
Antler looks at Ruby during all this is just like,
Perhaps we should have just sent him into my mind.
Ruby is entirely disagreeing with that idea because, good golly, this looks like so many bad ideas are occurring at once.
Oh no, make no mistake. This is beyond cursed, but cannot deny the fact that he is making progress.
Okay, hold on. I need another
Making
drink of water.
progress.
Can you all roll me a perception?
Sure.
Sure, wonderful.
so just the Antler and Ruby sharing the same screen.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, I'm sharing the same screen.
16.
Aw. No.
I'm just
16.
Wait, do you know like how like little kids sit on like the adults' laps and they share the same
Oh my god.
God.
Can it be
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yes!
Okay. I think, Doc, you're having too fun clipping through things and also floating on buckets and boxes. Ruby, you are debating how the fuck is that happening.
She doesn't know video games. She doesn't know video games. This is beyond cursed.
Beyond cursed. Alright. Notes.
What doth Antler see?
Antler, as this octopus man is like flitzing around this place, you can see that there's much larger chunks of amber now. In fact, you can probably guess where a majority of the people that should probably have been milling around, or at least frozen milling around, are. They are all standing in front of, you're much closer to this giant, stream of sap now, and it's probably one of those, God, I can describe things, basically, you know those podiums, that, like, kings stand on, that they look out over a crowd? Antler, you would know this,
Mhm.
It's one of those, but it's also kind of, like, it's open. It's a lot more open, because, again, these people can fly, so it would make sense for it to be a lot more open,
Yeah.
and, there are tons of these people frozen in this amber, and on the platform, there is a strange, kind of, I wouldn't say cutout, but it's kind of a basin built into the tree, where there's more pillars of amber, but there's also the I'm sorry, I was reading chat. There's sap dripping down into this basin, and in the basin, in the sap, there is a figure in there. Who is not very small, because again, all of you are very small again.
But familiar.
But familiar.
Cool.
Mhm.
Antler's going to move his cursor over to wherever Doc is floating off to. He's going to click on Doc and basically pick Doc up with his cursor and move Doc to the point of interest.
You just grab Doc by the nape of the neck and just drag him, just like
Yeah,
limp.
just
Like a sad octopus kitten.
Okay.
over here, Doc. Over here, Doc. You see it now?
Okay. Oh yes.
Ah, there it is.
Yes. There you
Just
go.
drop me in.
How do I?
Just let go of the mouse.
Here, you want to let go of the... There we go.
Oh no.
Did you drop Doc directly into the sap?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Antler doesn't know the controls.
You drop Doc directly into the sap, and you hear a small and the sap it's not a very solid stream, and it is flowing rather fast. Mostly because you guys plugged up the other holes. Anyway. And
Oh no.
Doc falls into the sap, but then he falls out of it, bringing along another person.
Hello.
Hello. Standing up from where you apparently pushed her out, Doctor, is I can totally do descriptions. I don't have a picture on me, but she
Perfect.
has a singular eye, two, not two, but a pair of very not almost, a pair of insectoid wings, with small clawed feet and small clawed hands, with bits of chillin. 4 antennae total, 2 larger ones and 2 smaller ones, and pointy, slightly curled ears. She seems to be wearing what looks to be a ceremonial uniform. But I will note, she does have this large patch of amber that is stuck onto her side.
Omni.
Got a little something there.
Lady Omni, is that you?
Yes, hello.
Good. Well, now that we've found you in this mindscape, let us please figure out what the ritual is and be done with this. And as he's talking, you see Antler's cursor's kind of just been slowly moving away off screen.
Antler, you're drifting.
What?
Hey, you want to move the mouse like this?
No, I have it. I've got it. And you see, like, the cursor comes back around.
There you go.
Pardon me, but where are we?
Oh, this is your mind. Welcome to your mindscape.
My mind?
Yes.
It's like a dream.
Kind of like a visual representation of your thought processes.
Huh.
So like a dream.
Yeah.
Is very odd. And Lady Omni slowly sort of walks, stares at you all for a moment, before walking over to the amber and sort of like the amber that are keeping figures in them, sort of leaning in. Oh, High Priest, and is that Joseph? Is that? And she's kind of like looking over all of the figures around the basin before turning to the one that was almost leaning like over onto the basin, and her ears kind of like lower and flick down, and her wings buzz for a second before she walks over and stares at the figure in the amber, and then places one hand on the side.
Alright, roll insight.
Insight. Insight.
23.
Insight.
Goes without
10.
saying, that's just someone important to her.
Doc, if you also want to roll an insight, because you are physically here.
Yeah. Trying to decide if this is one of those things where he'd just not be really interested.
I mean,
Yeah.
she was listing off who everyone was, sort of under
He's
her
not
breath.
very interested.
That's fair.
Tell you what, Antler's gonna nudge the doctor with his cursor and actually like
What?
like gesture with the cursor at Lady Omni.
Okay, fine. Okay. 11.
Slightly more interested. Ruby just doesn't read the situation. She's not good at insight.
It's not hard to tell she's obviously sad over whoever this is. Antler, you are able to tell, like, it's sort of like that, like, God, she misses the person inside this amber. You know, it is strange that while I am the one trapped in amber, everyone here is the one stuck.
Perhaps there's a way we can remedy that. At least in your mind. You said that there was a ritual.
Yes, everyone appears to be frozen in the middle of it. And she looks out over the figures surrounding the basin.
Antler looks at it as well, and if you would humor me, this is your mind, so you have arguably more control here than any of us. What would the ritual look like before this?
Before this.
I feel like as they're talking, Ruby's just gonna start clicking things. And just doing investigation.
Oh, this is fun.
Can I roll an investigation, baby?
Sure!
Yeah! 20!
Hey,
20. I will say, along the sides of the basin are runes etched into it. The basin is made out of the tree, but it's also very like decorated in this state. It's covered in these runes. You can't quite identify what they do. But
are they in a state that they could be copied?
They are in a state they could potentially be copied.
I feel like as Antler is talking to Omni, Ruby's cursor is just flitting about and like highlighting all the things that she's noticed.
I think this is what Daka starts paying attention to. Oh, hey. He starts just T-posing over that way.
Antler is just talking to Omni, just trying to encourage her to think about what the ritual would look like before. Basically through her, pull a bit of Mindscape shenanigans of reversing.
Ooh.
It is rather difficult to remember. I was not in the best of conditions when I was put up here. And she kind of presses a hand into the amber on her side.
Well, tell me, who would be where? From where you would be standing, like this person here, and he's gonna very shakily move his cursor over one of the people, and highlights them. Where would they be standing?
Everyone is in a more positioning. The start of the ritual, there would be And she sort of like starts stepping over the area. I don't think she knows how to manipulate this place yet. This is the first time, and she's been thrown into the deep end.
No, and I don't think she knows how to manipulate it, but it's one of those things where your mind thinks about it. It's like in a dream. It's basically like in a dream where you're reminded of something and your mind just immediately goes there without you really thinking it to or willing it.
Okay, in that case, this these figures were kind of locked in a singular position in these ambers. But they slowly, it almost seems they turned back, like the amber turns back into sap for a moment and reforms, and the figures remove into a different position. Uh,
Oh.
and there would be a thing over here, and she kind of
Ruby's taking notes IRL.
I will mention I do want to wrap this up soon, so like
Mhm.
you guys
Mhm,
can I gestured vaguely.
Yeah.
They're able to get
Yeah.
to see what this ritual originally looked like, the positions people were in and what ruins,
Mhm.
and I guess
Yeah.
whatever however they were able to summon and manipulate the magic concerning the amber and the
Mhm.
sap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. 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 Give me a second.
I
All right. The ritual starts out with all of these people sort of in a semicircle. Um, what the figure which Omni under her breath kind of just says mom, because
Oh.
that's her mom. It stands in the middle, holding. I will say, I think it's one of those moments where her mother like the amber sort of like peels back to just like a bare layer, and Lady Omni just kind of like lays down as this entire scene plays out, because she was carried here, 'cause,
Mhm.
heavily injured.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the scene kind of plays out, uh, where her mother places her gently in the basin. There's a bowl of some sort of liquid, hard to identify. It's very shiny. Um, that's sort of, it's probably some sort of, I would say some sort of oil agent, so it didn't completely stick to some of the more, important features, like the face, probably, but it would create like a protective layer around everything
Okay.
they didn't want too damaged, or too put in
Mm.
place.
Mhm.
Uh, and there's some I can totally describe things. Oh boy. There's some sort of powdery type material. It looks very plain. If asked why it looks so mundane, Lady Omni will admit she doesn't know what it is.
Hmm.
She doesn't know what it is. Uh,
Mm.
but it got poured over her head and into her wounds, and then everyone sort of in the semicircle kind of enclosed around it, and Lady Omni's mother, the queen, uh, flew upwards. Lady Omni's mother's wings are very long and very elegant. Still insectoid in design, but kind of a different sort of insect than Lady Omni's is. Uh,
Mm.
Probably more of like a dragonfly, and
Ooh.
seems to do a very seems she puts her hands in that prayer position and looks at the tree, and a crack splits open and sap runs out,
Mm.
and Lady Omni then gets covered inside the basin.
Mm.
and
Hmm.
then everything stops.
Doctor, I think that is enough.
Oh,
Yes. Is that enough?
Well, they mentioned. Well, Lady Omni mentioned that the ritual must have gone wrong somehow.
I do
Is
not
there?
believe it went wrong. Rather, it was not what we thought it was. It was
Hmm.
banned for a long time.
That makes. That makes a
Uh,
little more sense, I guess.
yeah, probably like a thinking it's a ritual to preserve life as in heal instead of preserve life as in put in stasis forever.
Yes.
Oh. Is the coffin still in the room? Because if it is, Ruby's just gonna kind of give it a sideways glance.
Probably, yeah.
Antler is pointedly not looking at it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Some stuff has
How-
just been kind of stacked in front of it. It's not being used at the moment.
However, Doctor,
What?
you were speaking of lesser restoration.
Yeah.
What about greater restoration? Would that
Well, I
work?
bet that would do it.
But that's a
Great.
really strong one, isn't it?
Yeah, don't have access to that one myself. Missing some parts.
I think I know of someone who does. However, Doctor, I will run this idea by you now, but greater restoration to separate the amber from Omni's body, and then using enlarge object to grow the amber. Would that work?
To get her out of it?
Well, we're thinking. Lady Omni, what, you're able to use message, so you obviously have some access to some spells. Do you happen to know any sort of teleportation magic?
Lady Omni looks at you. No, I do not.
What magic do you have? Anything helps.
Mine was more focused on the combat aspects of things.
Ruby
Lady Omni
nods in
kind of looks
understanding.
sheepish.
Ruby nods in understanding. Most of her spells are also combat.
Antler also nods in understanding because same here.
Got anything that does, thunder damage?
Thunder damage?
Yeah,
I do.
it'd be safer if she was the one doing it, because then she wouldn't be affected.
Indeed.
Oh, I have a tiny fire.
A what?
Oh, give me a second. And like Ruby disconnects from the helmet for a second to run and grab her bag of holding.
There's like a little, like, it turns into like the whirling beach ball, her cursor.
Yeah. No, I feel like her cursor T-poses and starts spinning around in the air.
Yeah, Antler's cursor is just staring at that, but
Antler in the real world is watching Ruby go get her bag.
Yeah.
We turned it around. We turned it around.
Ruby runs and gets her bag, and she pulls out a little cookie. And here's what it does.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll read it for the listening audience. This is a tiny fire, a small sugary cookie that, upon consumption, shrinks you down to tiny. This does not affect strength, however, your speed will be halved. The effects last for 24 hours.
Dang.
Yeah.
Who would be shrinking down?
Well, who
Do
has
you have a
thunder damage stuff?
Well, if we can enlarge the crystal, someone's tiny. If they could teleport in and then teleport back out with Lady Omni, that might work.
And I used to have Misty Step in my skeleton form, but
There might
Umi
be an
has gaseous
issue.
form.
There may be an
Maybe if
issue
Umi's
for the amber. It's sort of Lady Omni gestures to the amber on her form here in the mindscape, which does have a large patch of amber over a wound.
that is why we are talking about greater restoration.
I see.
Some kind of
Not to
healing
mention, I think-
magic.
Yeah, well, also, like, we got, healing magic, I assume someone does.
Hmm.
I have a health potion.
Might be a kind of after we get her out of the amber kind of deal.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Adu have greater restoration. I will speak with him about it. For now, though. Say we are able to get you out, Lady Omni. Do you want out of your current state?
Lady Omni just kind of stops and blinks at you. I will be honest, I do not know what is out there for me. If it was descendants per se, then I probably will not be recognized or perhaps not even fit in.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Say again?
Fresh start.
Fresh start.
Everyone I knew was here. Lady Omni kind of gestures to, the people standing around at the basin in the amber. I do not know.
Well, you don't have to make the decision right away.
Yeah, because we're not going to exactly be able to get you out of here.
No, this will not be a quick process or solution. So, you will have time to think about it.
And I could keep casting magic through the wand to keep you awake.
That would be much appreciated, thank you.
The little cursor nods.
Lady Omni does that, like, cobbler smile at you. You know the one.
Well then. I say, and he actually looks in real life down at Ruby, and who is, I imagine, still in his lap.
Yep.
I think we've had enough exploring for the day. And this is the first time Lady Omni has been awake in some time. I imagine she will need rest as well.
Yeah. We haven't even had breakfast yet. Well, actually, no, we did have sandwiches, but never
Well,
breakfast.
I haven't had breakfast yet.
Doctor,
Doc!
What?
why have you not eaten?
Because you're wearing the things I was making when I was going to be eating.
Get
Right.
out here, Doctor.
Fine. Doc, like, Teep. He plays, like, the speedrunner glitch of smacking a stick into the side of the shrine to fly across the
Antler just hits the button. Antler this is taking too long. He hits the big red button. That's what Doc set to press in order to turn it all off. So.
Yep, everything shuts down, and Doc, like, jolts out of the chair, like, what? Come on, I was beating my record.
Well, this has been fun. And Antler has actually, Ruby, Antler puts his he picks you up under your arms and just places you back to standing so he can stand up. This has been fun, but Ruby, it seems you and Lady Omni will be getting to know each other. Until then, I think I will be going back to my vacation. And Antler's gonna start walking towards the door.
He's still wearing the headset.
How
long does it take for him to realize?
You know what?
Roll for it.
Perception.
Roll history.
Oh, okay. Give me the better 20.
20!
He gets 2 steps before he goes, oh, wait. He reaches up, gets it, untangles it from his horns, and just places it on the desk. And then he goes, he's going back to his lounging chair in the nice sunlight to read his book and take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ruby might join you soon because, good golly, today has been a day, and it's not even past the afternoon. It's not even the afternoon yet.
Although he will call over his shoulder, Doctor, I expect you to eat before doing any work.
Fine, Bridget.
Bridget, sandwich me.
Sandwich me. Slap. Thank you. Officer, where are you?
Antler is also going to talk to Duster about that tree that he found the wand at. He doesn't want to look at that. Later. For now, nap. He's going back to his nap in the nice warm sun. And you know what? It's vacation.
Development. You need a vacation.
Vacation from your vacation.
And I will say, I think this is a pretty good place to end it, unless anyone else has anything to add.
No.
Nah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining me in this very crazy adventure where you threw me for a loop. Anyway.
Several loops.
Several loops. Thank you all
So
for
many
joining.
T-poses.
See you guys
Say bye to the
later.
audience.
Bye,
everybody.
Bye.